2 years ago, when the Godox VL300 came out, I bought it. And I've used it a few times over the years, but not as much as I would have liked to due to some issues, which I'll cover shortly. So when the M300d just came out from Godox, I got excited because I thought maybe it replaces the VL300. Maybe it'll fix some of those issues that I'm just not liking about the light. So I'm going to compare them in this video, hopefully help you out and answer any questions you might have about them. And just so you know, like I said, I bought the VL300, but the M300d was sent to me from Godox, but everything's my own opinion. So let's start with what you get when you purchase these lights, starting with the VL300. You'll get the light, a control box, power cables and adapters, a Bowens mount reflector, and a carrying case for everything to go inside. Now for the M300d, you'll get the light, a control box, a controller clamp, power cables, a tether rope, a Bowens mount reflector, and a case for everything to go inside. When it comes to features for these lights, they're both daylight only lights, that's 5600 Kelvin. They're both dimmable from 0 to 100% power. They've got a dual yoke, and they both come with the option to be run off of V-mount batteries. And with the VL300, you can control it from a remote or via Bluetooth with the old Godox app, not the new one. With the M300d, you can control it via Bluetooth with the new app from Godox, or with a remote, or via DMX. Now the M300d has a few features that the VL300 does not have. One of them being it comes with 4 special effects programmed into the light, and also the ability to turn the fans on or off. Now if you turn them off, obviously it limits the output, but it is a nice feature to have. One other thing the M300d has is a USB port for firmware updates. The VL300 does not have this option. When it comes to build quality, I would say the M300d is slightly better with the handle for the yoke. It's a lot firmer, it holds a lot better, whereas the VL300 is not as good and it can't handle really heavy accessories on the front of the light. I've tried to use a 150 centimeter light dome and unfortunately it just really can't handle it. Additionally, the M300d has heavy duty cables in comparison to the VL300, but I've never had issues with the cables on either of them so far. Now when it comes to heat and fan noise, I haven't had either of these lights overheat, but then again, I'm not using them in very hot environments. I'm typically inside or in cooler environments, so they're not at risk for overheating for me personally. However, they do get really warm, they generate a lot of heat because they are pretty powerful lights. Now when it comes to fan noise, I'm really picky about fan noise, and for me, the VL300 is a lot quieter than the M300d. The M300d has fans both in the control box and also in the light head. Both of them are equally as loud as each other, but they are quite noisy. They just have this whir as if a small fan like you'd use to cool yourself off is running in the room. Whereas the VL300 is really quiet. At best, it just sounds like it's forcing air. That's about as loud as it gets, but even then the M300d is still a lot louder at its lowest power setting to the VL300 at its highest power setting. Speaking of power, you might want to know how bright these lights can get, so I did some light readings. Here are the specs on the screen right now. Hopefully that will help you out. In general, I would say the M300d is a really great improvement to the VL300. However, there are 2 things I really dislike about both of these lights, and so maybe it's helpful for you to know about them. For the VL300, the first thing I don't like is the yoke. I thought I liked it when I first got it, and then I started using it and realized it doesn't work with heavy accessories. So for me, I really don't like that yoke system on the VL300. The second thing I really dislike, and it's a really big dislike for the VL300, is the control box. I hate it. It's so annoying. It's huge. It's clunky. It's always banging around when I move the light around. It's so annoying to deal with. It's really why I don't take out this light very often, just because I find it super annoying to deal with. Now, is that just a little bit pet peevey? Yes, but it makes it so that I just hate using the light. I would rather use other lights that are out there than that one, just because of the control box. That's it. Now when it comes to the 2 things I don't like about the M300d, the first one is the Bowens mount release. It's in a weird place. It's stuck right in the middle. It sticks straight up. It's just super annoying to find, to deal with, and just, I don't like it. I like placement on the right side of the light. Godox has done this forever, and then they switch it up with this one. I just don't like it. It makes it hard to get to, and I don't know, I'm just used to the way it was. And the second thing with the M300 is that fan noise. I mean, it's great that you can turn the fans off, but it does limit it to 25% power as its limit. So if you want to have anything above 25% power, you're gonna have to deal with fan noise. Just makes it hard to say that it's a perfect replacement for the VL300, just because it's a little extra loud in comparison for sure. Granted, like I said, I'm picky about fan noise and maybe you're not. So that's something to keep in mind. I think as a whole, both of these lights are great and you're not going to be mad necessarily with either one of them. However, I do think you'll have a better experience with the M300d just because of that yoke and also the ease of use with the control box. The only thing you might find slightly annoying is the fan noise like me, but otherwise I think you're gonna like the light. Additionally, when Godox sent me this light, they sent me their newest Fresnel, which I convinced them to start making some Fresnels because y'all kept saying, why don't they have Fresnels? So they made a Fresnel, they sent it my way. I tested out with these two lights against my Aperture 2X Fresnel, and I would say that the Godox Fresnel is really good. It's much better than the Aperture 2X, which is designed for aperture lights anyway. This Godox one is a good fit and it's worked out pretty good. So I would say if you want to grab a good Fresnel, that's a good one to grab as well. I'm going to link everything down in the description. If you use those links to go and make a purchase for these or any other products online, it helps me so that I can keep creating content for you guys. So I appreciate it when you use those links. Thank you if you do that. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed and I'll see you in the next video.